Let us start with a strange paradox. You can negotiate a complex contract at work without breaking a sweat. You can handle a massive crisis and make split-second decisions that save the day. But then you get home. A friend leaves your message unread. A colleague gives you a slightly shorter greeting than usual. Suddenly, you are completely paralyzed. You sit on the edge of your bed, staring at the cold glow of your phone screen, drafting and deleting the exact same text message for 45 minutes. You wonder if your punctuation sounded too aggressive. You replay a 5-second interaction in the hallway from 3 days ago, searching for the exact moment you might have ruined everything. People call this overthinking. They tell you to just stop worrying. They treat your mind like it is a broken machine that needs to be switched off. But your mind is not broken. It is doing something incredibly specific and honestly quite heartbreaking. Let us look closely at the pattern. You do not overthink what kind of coffee to buy. You do not spend hours agonizing over which socks to wear. You only freeze when the situation carries the weight of emotional consequence. The noise in your head is not random static. It maps perfectly onto the things you value the most. It points directly to who you love, what you are terrified of losing, and how desperately you want to be perceived as a good person. In psychology, we often look at something called shadow work. We all have parts of ourselves that we learned to hide when we were young, the parts that were too loud, too needy, or too messy. We shoved them into the dark basement of our minds because we believed that if people saw them, we would be abandoned. Your overthinking is simply the voice of those hidden parts. They are terrified of making a mistake and being thrown out into the cold again. When you overanalyze a simple text message, you are not really looking for the right words. You are trying to guarantee your own safety. You are scanning the environment for threats. If you grew up in a house where the mood could shift unpredictably, where a slammed door meant you were in deep trouble, your nervous system learned a crucial survival skill. It learned that hyper-vigilance keeps you safe. You learned to read the room before you even walked into it. That was brilliant back then. It kept you alive. The problem is that your nervous system is still running that exact same software today. Imagine your brain as a highly advanced security system, guarding a priceless treasure. That treasure is your sense of belonging, your relationships, and your fundamental right to feel loved. The alarm system is designed to go off if a thief breaks in, but your alarm is set so incredibly high that it triggers when a stray leaf blows across the lawn. A slightly altered tone of voice from your partner sets off the sirens. A delayed email from your boss activates a full lockdown protocol. And here you are, physically exhausted, trying to live a normal life while a deafening siren is constantly ringing in your ears. You try to cope with it by staying busy. You fill every second of your day with podcasts, work, and endless scrolling, because the moment you sit down on the couch in silence, the moment the physical distractions stop, the backlog of unprocessed anxiety floods your mind. You are using exhaustion as a volume dial, but running from it only creates a debt. Every time you force yourself to stop thinking about a problem, you are setting up a psychological rebound. Researchers call this the white bear effect. If you tell someone to absolutely not think about a white bear, it is the only thing their brain will visualize. When you clench your jaw and command your brain to shut up, the thoughts do not disappear. They wait in the shadows, gathering strength, and they ambush you the second your head hits the pillow at night. You are not a burden for having a busy mind. You are just a person carrying a tremendous amount of empathy, equipped with a nervous system that is working overtime to protect you from pain you experienced a long time ago. So how do we turn off a biological alarm system that refuses to be shut down? You do not smash it with a hammer. You do not hate it. You have to realize that fighting your overthinking is like fighting a cornered animal. It only bites back harder and with more desperation. The cruelest part of this entire cycle is the double standard you live by. The hyper-awareness you use to protect other people is almost never directed inward. You will sit on the floor of your kitchen for an hour, patiently convincing a crying friend that they are not a burden. You will list out all of their wonderful qualities. And then, later that same night, you will lie awake staring at your ceiling, meticulously gathering evidence to prove to yourself that you are fundamentally broken and impossible to love. It is the exact same mind, the exact same capacity for deep empathy, but it operates under a brutally different set of rules when it comes to you. This is where the shift has to happen. You cannot stop the thoughts from arriving, but you can change how you greet them at the door. When the familiar spiral begins, when your chest gets tight, your vision narrows, and your heart rate accelerates, when you start building a massive court case against yourself over a minor social interaction, do not tell yourself to stop overthinking. Do not shame yourself for being anxious. Instead, try doing something radically gentle. Acknowledge the alarm. Speak directly to that exhausted part of your brain. You can literally say it out loud in your empty room. I see what you are doing. I know you are terrified right now. I know you are analyzing every tiny detail because you think a disaster is coming. I know you are just trying to keep us safe. But the threat is not real. We are not trapped in that unpredictable environment anymore. We are adults now. We have choices. We are safe. This is not a cheap psychological trick. It is a biological reset. By naming the fear without judging it, you signal to your amygdala that the emergency is over. The noise in your head will not vanish instantly, but awareness changes the entire texture of the anxiety. It stops being a massive monster looming over your bed, and it shrinks down into a frightened child pulling desperately at your sleeve. You do not have to follow every panicked thought down the rabbit hole. You can watch the thought arise, recognize its clumsy attempt to protect you, and gently set it down on the nightstand. Bring your attention back to your physical reality. Feel the heavy fabric of your blanket against your legs. Notice the cool air hitting the back of your neck. Press your palms flat against the solid mattress. The catastrophic danger your nervous system is preparing for is a ghost. It is a memory of a time when you were powerless. But you survived it already. It is over. The ultimate goal of this journey is not a perfectly quiet mind. A permanently quiet mind is an illusion sold to you by people who have never had to survive by paying extremely close attention to their surroundings. Chasing absolute silence will only make you feel like a failure. The true goal is to build a more honest and compassionate relationship with the noise. It is the ability to look at a terrifying worst-case scenario your brain just projected on the wall and softly say, "Thank you for the warning, but we are not going to obsess over this tonight. I am going to give myself permission to be a little messy. I am going to allow myself to be slightly misunderstood. I am going to drop the heavy armor of perfectionism and just be completely, unapologetically human." I want you to do something for me right now. Take a deep, slow breath. Notice how high your shoulders are and drop them away from your ears. Unclench your jaw. Let your stomach relax. You have carried this invisible, crushing weight for so long. You have done an incredible job keeping yourself safe all these years. But you do not have to be on guard right now. Tonight, you are allowed to put the weapons down. Tonight, you are allowed to simply exist. If this video made you feel a little less crazy and a little more understood, please subscribe to the channel. In our next video, we will explore the exact steps to establish emotional boundaries without feeling crushing guilt. Until then, take care of yourself. You deserve the same grace you give to everyone else.